Rod, you manage something like $500 billion, and a lot of that money is invested in the markets. I mean, given that the stock market is so unpredictable and uncertain right now, what do you think is the most important issue for investors?
We are bullish on the long-term prospect for the market. We are cautiously optimistic on rising interest rates. That's good for our customers. It's good for America. But our biggest caution for our customers is the not jumping in and out of the market, being consistently invested with an appropriate diversification to accomplish their long-term objectives.
Mm-hmm. You bring up interest rates. We know that the Federal Reserve is going to be raising rates. They've made that very clear. Some people say, hey, that's going to be great for people who are savers, but maybe not so good for the economy. You know, where do you stand on that?
Well, again, we're in the saving business. So on the saving part, I would very much agree with the point. We think rising interest rates, certainly for the retirement business, are a good thing for Americans. It's a good thing for Voya. It's a good thing. But as you point out, with rising interest rates, costs of other things are likely to increase over time. That could be a car loan, a mortgage loan, et cetera. And so there's a balance on how that will affect a consumer.
How about for the economy?
I think generally it's good for the economy. Our experience is when markets improve, equity markets or interest rate markets, people generally feel better about things. They feel better about seeing their bank account a little bit larger this month than last month, or their 401k statement this quarter a little bit larger than it was the quarter ago. And that generally encourages and puts a little bit of wind under their wings of how they're feeling about both their progress and in the economy overall.
Mm-hmm. But when you look about what's going on around the globe, it just seems like there's so many things to be worried about, whether it's about what's going on in Syria, North Korea, Brexit, the European elections. Is this causing you to change your investment strategy at Voya?
We have, modestly adjusted over a period of time, but it's not a radical adjustment. Again, because we weren't swinging for the fences before. We're not doing it, today. We are having to make and keep promises over the next 10, 15, 20, 30, and 40 years.
A lot of CEOs have been telling me that they're in favor of the Trump administration's proposals for tax cuts and reducing regulations, infrastructure projects, but all of this seems up in the air right now. How do you think all of this is going to play out?
Certainly there's been a swing, as you point out. I think generally investment in the economy is going to be a good thing. Generally taxes at a lesser rate for companies, and we do business with a lot of small companies, is a good outcome, and therefore it's a good outcome for the companies, and for our customers it's a good outcome for Voya. But we've got to be prepared to deal with whatever the market presents us as we go through this.
Well, President Trump has been talking a lot about boosting the U.S. economy dramatically. From what you've seen, what he's done so far, how realistic is this?
We have seen, even in this short time, a change in the attitude from businesses that we do business with. And I'm encouraged by that. I can absolutely say that we've seen a change in attitude favorably toward a growing economy, an improving GDP, the improvement, even though it's been short-term since the election, of the stock market, against the caution of there's a very challenging world out there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What is the most critical thing that you would like President Trump to do that you haven't seen so far, or even that he's talked about?
I think it's time to start executing a few things that he has talked about, whether that's the infrastructure spend, the tax policy. We need to get at this in a bipartisan, all-American focused way, not just a Republican or a Democratic way, to move on with this. I think America is looking for that. I think we will all be beneficiaries of that outcome, and I would encourage him to do that.